The opening ceremony of the 2024 Olympics in Paris was filled with hidden symbolism and sparked a wave of controversy. Many critics accused the organizers and supporters of promoting a satanic message, suggesting an attempt to impose ideologies associated with the supposed New World Order. References were made to biblical prophecies, indicating that the symbols presented foretold the arrival of a world ruler led by the Antichrist. The ceremony contained everything but a clear reference to the Olympics and sports. To understand what is at stake, it is important to observe how these major events are always shrouded in a spiritual atmosphere. According to Elon Musk himself, who commented on his social media, the ceremony had an end-of-days vibe. This is the first interpretation we have of the spiritual aspect of the event, and it is significant that this observation comes from someone like Musk, who is not a religious figure. I-Z1, invocation of Dionysus energy. So this strange being, like a blue smurf that you saw, is the French singer Philippe Catherine, and he was representing the Greek god Dionysus, god of party, wine, and ecstasy. At the opening of the Olympics, he was there with a purpose. What we are seeing in this scene is undeniably the invocation of Dionysus energy. In this opening of the 2024 Olympics, Dionysus comes to represent something much darker than simply being the god of the party. Dionysus represented duality because he had a dual nature. While he could be benevolent and bring joy, he was punitive, especially with those who disrespected his rituals. This strange being you saw at the opening of the Olympics was there to represent duality, something that is only increasing on our planet, and that people would divide more and more. This is not only already happening, but tends to worsen every day. Homme Tsetu, the white horse. The more religious say he is the first horseman of the apocalypse, a rider who, according to the Bible, would be the guardian of the first seal. There is an interpretation of this rider that says he is a deceptive figure, possibly the Antichrist, or even a false prophet. This figure would bring destruction and deception. Within this vision, the rider symbolizes a false peace and conquests that would lead to ruin. But this rider can mean many things. He may even signify the channeling of the energy of war and the rise of empires, something that Western and Eastern countries are very close to currently. Notice how everything there is very symbolic. In any opening ceremony of anything, there is symbolism. All these symbols do not communicate directly with our consciousness. All these things are elaborated subconsciously. These symbols communicate directly with our subconscious. Some more sensitive people, like Serena Williams, felt this energy. Notice how she seems to feel unwell during the ceremony, seeming short of breath. Indeed, it is a very heavy energy, involving a lot of dark energy. Sutri, scene of hospital beds. There were several hospital beds with sick children and adults lying in them, as if the disease that plagued humanity from 2019 to 2023 was already being planned by some macabre agenda, or perhaps a great war that is about to happen. In these 2024 Olympics, this scene with hospital beds leaves a very direct message, which we can understand as sick people, and hospital beds clearly having no connotation with sport. Quite the contrary. The apocalypse speaks of diseases and wars. Is it just a coincidence to have this scene that does not connect with anything related to the Olympics and sports? 4. The Last Supper. What we saw is something even more profane, where famous scenes from the Bible were desecrated. Profane is something that goes against what is sacred or consecrated. The opening of the 2024 Olympics showed a profane image of the Last Supper with drag queens. The more religious say that even Sodom and Gomorrah were ashamed of this presentation. Others say that what happened there at the Olympics was a real ritual from the perspective of occultism. They are rituals, they are rites, and to invoke, you need to desecrate. Ceremonies are indeed rituals. I'm not talking about satanic rituals as people say, but about the energies channeled by these rituals. They serve a purpose. In ancient Greece, the Olympic Games were a kind of offering to thank the gods of Olympus. The opening of the Olympics was a way of invoking these spiritual hidden powers, and mainly the benefits in this case, bringing this power to the earth. It is also important to mention that all these rituals and energetic manipulations do not occur consciously. That is, the person who created the theme of the opening, in this case, Thomas Joly, a famous theater director from France, did not create everything consciously, but was possibly suggested to create. All the people involved or who approved this ceremony were also possibly suggested. This is how it works within occultism. People are used by certain entities to create things. Usually, people are used to create rituals in favor of the deity that is suggesting. The entity or deity approaches and makes a request. What seems to be a creative outburst, a great idea, is not an idea, it is a suggestion. Ask golden calf. And isn't it that they randomly put a golden calf in the Olympic opening? They had never done that before, and it has no context at all. One of the most shocking symbols was the inclusion of a golden calf, a biblical idol, associated with idolatry and false gods. In the Gospel of Luke, the bull is a symbol of sacrifice, reflecting the sacrificial character of Christ's death. This symbol can indicate the channeling of leadership and sacrifice energies. In common language, golden calf can symbolize determined leadership and the ability to guide others with determination and courage, just like the scene of the white knight carrying the Olympic flag on his back and all the countries of the world walking behind him. Masonic symbols. Masonic checkerboard floor duality. The mosaic pavement is made up of alternating black and white square slabs like a checkerboard surrounded by a serrated edge. It represents human duality. Again, we return to duality, as mentioned in the section about Dionysus. Masonic square and compass. The square and compasses are the most identifiable symbol of Freemasonry. Both the square and the compass are architects' tools and are used in Masonic rituals. We clearly see this symbol created by the lights projected against the Eiffel Tower. Sen. The flag was raised upside down. When they go to open the flag and raise it, you will see that the flag was raised upside down. This was already a completely strange thing. This scene was commented on in various media outlets, so does it have any symbolism? Does it have any meaning? We know that when you have a flag raised, any type of flag that is usually raised, but when you have this flag raised upside down, it is generally a sign of distress in situations of extreme danger to life or property. In military contexts, raising a flag upside down is also a military code, meaning that the territory has been taken by the enemy. In other contexts, it is considered disrespectful to a nation. So this knight on the white horse, bringing this flag upside down, signifies a false peace, a false religion, a false Christianity, a false Christ, a great deception. 8. Conclusion. The opening of the 2024 Olympics was marked by a series of hidden and religious symbols that generated controversy and debate. From the invocation of Dionysus to the presence of the white horse with the arrival of the horseman of the apocalypse, each element seemed carefully chosen to convey subliminal messages about power, division, and deception. Regardless of the organizers' intentions, the ceremony left many viewers uneasy and questioning the true purposes behind such choices. The profusion of symbols and hidden rituals suggested a deep and complex narrative intended to subconsciously influence collective perception and awareness.